Good afternoon, LifeWave. So excited to have so many of you on here with us today. Just a reminder before we get started, we will have 15 minutes of Q&A. So if you have a question, make sure you don't put it in the chat. Instead, put it in the Q&A section. Also, a reminder, this is a comp plan call, so we will be focused on comp plan questions. If you have product questions, the best place to get those answered is on the product webinar on Wednesday with David. Now I'm going to turn the time over to Emily Barr, our compensation plan expert, and she's going to jump in and talk about Paid Rank Tracker and the Team Paid Rank Tracker report. Emily.
Right, thanks, Carolee. Hi, everyone. Happy to be back with you. A lot has changed with me. I've had my little baby, so I have a little 2-month-old now, if you can believe that that's already happened. And Comp 2.0 has launched, so we're super excited about that. And we are using this webinar series to really walk you guys through some of the most important tools that are now available in your back office. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I am using a test account, so there's very limited data on it, so don't be alarmed by the lack of activity in my test account. It will be totally fine for us to use in terms of walking through things, and will give us enough of a display, but that is why it's limited, and there may be a few things that look a little weird with the test account. Okay, so as Carolee mentioned, what we are working with today or going to review today is the Paid Rank Tracker. This is probably one of the most important tools for your back office, in that it is your one-stop shop to very quickly and easily see where you are qualified in this current week, based on your rolling 31-day period qualifications. This Paid Rank Tracker displays here on the home page. And you have the opportunity, which I'm going to do now because I'm in my test account that has limited data, have the opportunity to kind of push that rank tracker up from where you're initially set, which will always be on your next qualified rank opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and push mine up and assume that I have my 55 PV for qualification. And you can see this jumps and then starts to share and look at the next set of qualifications for whatever given rank I am on. So I moved from looking at what I needed to get to an active brand partner to now I'm looking at what do I need to get to one-star manager. And some of you may say, hey, you're actually closer to one-star manager than you are active brand partner because I already have the secondary qualification, which is a bigger qualification for the one-star manager than the 55 or the 110 personal volume. So I'm actually closer to getting to a one-star manager because I already have my qualified downline volume. So one thing that I want to point out with the Paid Rank Tracker is every single one of these qualifications, and we'll move up further to look at the others, is a clickable link into detail. So this is the power move, if you will. Like this is a game changer right here. Because right from this block, not only can I, again, scroll up as far as I want to see how close I'm qualified, but then I, from one single click from this widget, can see what activity is making up that qualification requirement. So right here, the qualified downline volume, if I click that, it's going to bring up who is representative of being my qualified downline volume. And here's the great part is that it provides you the total downline volume. So what is that organization as a whole? And then right next to it, your qualified downline volume. Why is that important? Because if you are being capped at the rank that you are looking at because of the amount of volume coming in from that person's organization, that is going to show here. That's important because let's say, for example, I have this brand partner team here and they are being capped. Well, then I'm not going to put a ton of focus into getting that team to increase their volume because I'm capped. That's not helping me get what I need to reach my rank. So I am going to look potentially for brand partner teams that are not capped. So that's a very important element of this detail for the qualified downline volume. You have your total downline volume, how much volume is there in the organization, and you have the qualified downline volume In a lot of cases, they're going to match. Like in my test account, they match here because I'm not being capped. But if you are being capped at the given rank that you're looking at, you would see that here. So then you know, let's focus on a different team. So that's detail number one that's very important about that qualified downline volume detail that you can use to your advantage. I'm going to scroll up a couple more ranks so we get all of the qualification requirements there. So from a volume leg standpoint, very similar type view. You have the individual listed there, and then you have their total downline volume because total downline volume is what's used to determine your volume legs. And then if they are meeting that qualification for you, they will show here with a nice happy check mark that shows, yes, this is a qualified volume leg for you at this rank. For me, on my test account, this is not, so it has an X indicating that this is not qualifying as a volume leg for myself. And again, this detail pop-up will show every personally enrolled brand partner that you have here in the display. So you will be able to see everyone. Next, the outside largest legs volume. When you click on this, this will actually, and again, I apologize that there's not a ton of data on my test account just yet. It's still loading. But this would show you again in a call out of red font, as well as over here in this outside largest legs volume column, those brand partner teams that are being excluded from your outside largest leg calculation. So I know that this team that I have, it's the only one that I have. So obviously they are being considered one of my volume legs. So none of that volume counts. It's only my personal volume in this test account right now that's counting for me. If I had additional brand partner teams, it would be removing, depending on the rank that I'm looking at, the two largest teams, and it would be counting everyone else. So again, you can very quickly and easily see, hey, these two teams or three teams, depending on what your rank is, are being excluded from my calculation. So here are the other teams that I can work with and build up to hit whatever my outside largest leg volume requirement is. So again, another really helpful, useful tool. And last, the binary balancing element actually comes up in two different chart views. One that'll show you the left side of your binary and one that shows you the right side of your binary and where those personally enrolled brand partners fall. And so how much volume is on each of those binary sides. So again, this makes it easy for you to quickly see. Again, there's not a ton of data here on my test account, so I'm very easily able to see that 780 of my enrollment tree volume is on my right side, and I don't have anything on my left. But again, as more brand partners are in all of your organizations and will be eventually on my test account once it loads, you will see everyone listed there that's personally enrolled, and you will see the total amount of volume on the left and the right. So again, I know where I need to put my focus to meet my qualification, whether that's 1,000 or 40,000, I can very quickly and easily see that information. The other great thing about this pop-up is that if you'll notice, this customer card, and I will reference this a lot throughout most of these trainings, this customer card is listed on these pop-ups. So if we go back to my qualified downline pop-up, this customer card is here. That will give you the opportunity to actually switch over to this individual to be able to see their information. And what a really great opportunity is you can then click on their next rank element, and you're going to see what they're qualified for in terms of where they are versus where they're going. So again, you can even see their information to help them reach a higher rank as needed to help your qualification. So it becomes a very quick and easy find people that are your biggest opportunity and then go into the detail for them to help them be successful, to help you be successful. So again, this I cannot stress is such a critical tool for your business and being successful with Comp 2.0 to really make sure week to week that you're reaching the highest qualification level that you can in any given weekly period. The other element to this paid rank tracker, so we talked about how from the customer card you can get into any one individual person. But as mentioned at the top of the call, we also have this team paid rank tracker report. So what this does is essentially provides you all of that information that's in that paid rank tracker into a single list report view. So now I don't have to worry about clicking into each individual. I can actually now go into this report and see everyone within my enrollment organization. And there's a couple of really important data fields that you'll want to use and leverage filters and sorting for. One is the next paid rank. So here you probably want to potentially be selecting given ranks. So I'll give you an example. If I am a one-star director, I'm getting that mentor matching bonus, right? So I want to develop as many one-star directors as I possibly can. So I am going to look for individuals with their next paid rank as a one-star director because those are the people I want to get them from three-star manager up to one-star director so that I can earn a match on them. So I'm not going to filter this now because I only have my one brand partner that has a rank, and so it would not show me anyone. But if you put that in there, that will filter, again, only brand partners within your organization that have that rank. And then from there, you can sort descending, which it already is. You can see that by this down arrow. You can sort descending by the percentage to that next rank. Because again, the people that have the highest percentage are therefore your biggest opportunities to move to that next level, whether that be a one-star director, whether that be a one-star executive, whether that be a two-star manager, whatever that rank is that you're looking to move those individuals, again, the best opportunity are the ones that are closest to reaching that new rank. So that would be the best mechanism for finding your biggest potential within your enrollment tree of who do I have to help them be successful so that I can be successful. So again, you can either sort descending by the paid rank, or you can filter if that's your preference. And then I would definitely lean on either a filter or again, a sort to utilize this next paid rank field to again, find your people with the most potential to reach that next rank in the given weekly period. You also have filters for your binary side if, for any reason you want to focus on that in terms of rank qualification. And then the other thing that this report provides you in that single view where you don't have to go anywhere else, you do have it because, like we mentioned, that customer card is here at the beginning of this report, but you have all of those tools right here in front of you on the report in terms of data fields. So you already have here the qualified downline volume for the current rank that they're at. You also have the qualified downline volume for the next rank that they're trying to achieve because again, those caps in terms of the amount of volume you can count from any one brand partner team or your PV increase as your rank increases. So these could be the same, again, if you're not hitting a cap, but for some people, it may be significantly more volume at the higher rank because again, the cap is at a higher amount. You have the volume legs count at the current rank. So is it 1,000? Is it 3,000? Is it 6,000? Is it 15,000? Whatever that volume count is at the current rank, if applicable. And then you have the volume count legs at the next rank. So again, if I'm qualifying right now with 3 legs at 3,000, but my next qualification level, how many legs do I have that are at 6,000? That would show here in this field. So again, on top of your percentage to see who's closest, you actually have the details to get on the phone and call your brand partners and say, hey, Sally, did you understand that if you just have, one more team reach this level, you're going to have your leg qualification, which is what's holding you back from reaching your next rank and maximizing compensation for yourself. Additionally, we have the outside largest legs volume and the total downline volume on the binary left side and right side. So all of your rank qualifications, so you can quickly and easily see how much do they have at their current rank and how are they qualified at their current rank and what is missing to qualify at the next rank along with that percentage to again find and have those very relevant and important conversations with your team members as you're helping them to reach their maximum paid rank level within the weekly period. So I know we want to have 15 minutes for questions. So again, I just wanted to give a brief overview of these two super, super, super important elements to your new back office. And I will go ahead and stop sharing and we can jump into Q&A.
All right, Emily. We have some good questions. The first one is a clarification. They said, I asked CS if BPs still need one active on left and one active on right to be binary eligible. CS said, no, it doesn't read that way. When I asked them to double check, they came back and said, actually, yes. Can you please clarify?
Yeah. So the qualifications for earning binary bonus are slightly different. So that's why you got that initial answer. Because they no longer follow the, need this on the left, need this on the right. It is based on rank. Again, everything we want to drive back to the success pathway. So, in order to qualify for binary bonus, you need to be a 3-star manager and have at least 300 in bonus volume on that weaker side, on the pay side. So, the qualifications for your manager that you need to be qualified is that you need, again, technically 2,500 in qualified downline volume, which at a 3-star manager level is total downline volume because there is no max volume rule that's applied to you. So 2,500 in terms of total volume, qualified downline volume, because again, at that rank, it doesn't matter. And one brand partner team with a minimum of 1,000 total downline volume. So technically, you do not have a binary balancing qualifier at that 3-star manager rank. So you technically do not need to have something on the left and right, but you do need to have that minimum of 300 on the weaker side. So technically, you would have to have volume on both sides in order to be eligible to pay. So that may be the reason that you kind of got the answer that you got.
Thanks, Emily. We also have a lot of questions about the term capped. Not understanding capped. Can she explain capped? What does capped mean? Can you help
Yep.
out the individuals that are asking about that?
Yeah, let me actually, I'm going to share an image just of the success pathway that has been used in a couple different presentations, just because it'll be easier than you guys just seeing me talk. All right. Okay. So and that's a really good point. We use the term capped a lot. So I will stick to what we have in the success pathway, which is the maximum volume rule. So the maximum volume rule essentially says only a certain amount of volume can ever come from one single brand partner team or your own personal volume. So what does that mean? That means, and I'm going to use this term in quotes, that means that we are going to cap the volume that we are going to count from that brand partner team or from your personal volume, depending on what rank you're trying to qualify. So, for example, this max volume rule starts at 1-star director. So, as a 1-star director, I need 5,000 volume from my organization, but it's not total downline volume, meaning I'm just going to count everything. It's qualified downline volume, meaning that if there is a team that has more than 2,500, I am only going to count 2,500 of that towards meeting that 5,000. Or myself personally, if I have more than 2,500, that personal volume is only going to count up to 2,500. So I essentially need to make sure that either between a couple teams or myself that no one is necessarily more than 2,500 to meet my 5,000. So all that means is that we are going to max out the amount of volume that you can count from that individual or count from yourself for that given rank. That volume will still be paid on if applicable. It's not removed from your organization in any way. And that's why you will see in that pop-up the total downline volume versus the qualified downline volume. We're still looking at all of the volume in terms of payout and everything flowing through from an earning standpoint, but from a how much or how big of a rank can you qualify for, we're going to consider that max volume rule and therefore your qualified downline volume for qualification.
Okay. Next question. Two parts, because I'm
Mhm.
going to ask two questions at once. One, where can they see their TDV? And two, TDV, does that only include those that they personally enrolled, not the volume from spillover placements of brand partners? If so, where does that spillover volume help or can be seen?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, great
Okay.
questions. So the first question, which is where can I see my TDV? So there's a couple places. So we showed kind of where in that paid rank tracker it can be seen, which is if you click the QDV requirement in that pop-up, you are going to see everyone in your organization, the personally enrolled individuals. The TDV is everything that's underneath of them. So all the volume rolled up in their enrollment tree. So down here in the total of that pop-up is where you would see total downline volume for your entire organization. You're going to see that total downline volume for everyone you personally enrolled, and then your personal volume summarized to be your entire organization's total downline volume. The other place that you can go is there is this volumes report within the commissions menu, and we'll go over this in a future webinar, but just quickly touching on this. You will also see total downline volume listed here, and that's going to be that week over week build. So as we start to get more weeks within Comp 2.0, you will see, every week rolling forward, I think through an entire 52-week period before it gets maxed out. So this is another place that you can go and find that information and click here to see the detail behind it. And then the next question was, does it include, binary spillover? No. Total downline volume is enrollment volume only. So people you've personally enrolled and everyone and everything that they have done is all considered within your total downline volume because it's enrollment tree based. Clarification point or point of emphasis is technically every single one of these qualifications are based on your enrollment tree. The only qualification, and I'm just going to scroll up to get to the full one, the only qualification that even considers your binary tree is your binary balancing, but it is still looking at that enrollment tree volume and just where it's placed on your binary. So from a rank qualification standpoint, just like in Comp 1.0, your binary volume is not considered for rank qualification. Placement is considered for where your enrolled individuals are, but we're not looking at spillover volume in terms of counting for your rank qualification. To see that, where is my binary volume? Again, you would go to that volumes report and the bonus volumes data. So this is where you'll be able to see, both your your carry forward volume that came forward from the prior week, the amount of binary volume that you have on that side at the end of that week, and then how much is consumed, used, and then this is expired, flushed, like again, removed. We are actually going to add a new field to this report too. It's in the process, so it's not here yet, but it would show essentially the new volume that came in that week. So I know that you can calculate that by saying the total minus the carry forward, but we want to give it very straightforward. So it's very easy to say, okay, here's what carried forward, here's what was added, here's what was consumed or flushed, so here's my total, and then you understand what carries forward to set the balance for the carry forward for the next week. So we're still modifying this one a little. We definitely want to make sure it's super user friendly and straightforward, but this is where you can go to see that spillover volume consideration. It is not in any of the rank qualification elements because again, that's enrollment tree based only.
Okay, a couple other volume related questions. One, how do they see how much volume they have on the right versus the left?
So this would again be so if we're talking total binary, including spillover, this would be the location. This is where you want to go. If we are talking about, again, that rank qualification, the binary balancing, how much volume do I have on the left and the right? Technically, you can go here to this rank qualifications data report. That will be included in these columns here, the TDV binary left, binary right. Again, the other place, very quick and easy to get it, is that paid rank tracker. Just go to that qualification requirement. If you want to see the detail behind it, who makes up, X amount of volume that's on my left and my right, just go there. You can click on it, and then you'll see all the IDs and that volume on their respective binary side.
Okay, and that personal volume requirement of 110 or at higher ranks 200, can that all come from customers, or does some of that have to come from the brand partner?
So it can all come from personally enrolled customers. It can up to 110 depending on your region. Some regions this rule doesn't apply, but it can count 110 from personal purchase. So again, those ranks at the higher 200 require a customer purchase, but it never requires a personal purchase. That is your personal choice. You can for sure have that requirement filled by customers in total.
Perfect. Okay, another clarification on the word capped. The question is, so maximum volume rule is the same as capped?
So again, that like if we are talking about the amount of volume that can be counted for that qualifying downline volume, yes. If we are talking about, because again, we use that word capped a lot. So if we're talking about anything to do with binary earnings, like that doesn't have to do with MVR, anything outside of again that rank qualification is the only thing that MVR and the capping of that volume has to do with. And like I said, it is only for the rank qualification. It's not like we're removing that volume from your organization. If you're eligible to get paid on it, you will be paid on it.
Okay. Let's see. We'll do one more and see if we have time for another. Do we have to place brand partners ourselves left or right, or does the system do that automatically?
So there is a default that you can set on your account where it does it automatically. Or you can choose through your binary tree viewer or by inserting, the ID number that you want it, your binary placement. So you have the option, or you can allow the system default to, set them. One thing that I want to highlight is, and this is something that we're, planning on releasing in the future, as soon as we kind of get through everything with Go Live, is there will be a new setting to help with that binary balancing. Because, we understand if your setting is one side or the other, or, one of the other options, you do kind of have to pay attention to where people are being placed. So we are going to set up a just default where you can say, hey, I want my binary balancing to be my default, and systemically it will go through and, decide where that best place for them, that next person to be in order to help with your binary balancing would go. So that's to be coming in the future, but just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel for helping with that, from a systemic standpoint.
Okay, we'll slide one more in. If I'm looking at someone in my organization, how can I see where they are getting their volume and what they need to rank up?
So the paid rank tracker, I would say for sure for what they need to, do to rank up, would be a great tool because again, from this view, you'll be able to see, what is that person's current rank? What is the next rank from a percentage standpoint? How close are they? And then all of those rank qualification details, their capped PV, their QDV at the current rank, the QDV of the next rank. So again, if there's some kind of pickup they're going to get at that next rank, volume legs, outside largest leg volume, and that binary balancing is all right here. So this is a great tool to use to essentially say, hey, Sam, you're this far away, or Joe, you're this far away. And here's what you need. So this is a great place to go to get that information. In terms of where that volume is, coming from, it really depends on how far down in terms of detail that you want to go. The quickest way to just see some, high level again would be to go into that person's profile, go to their next rank, because then that's going to provide you again that visibility into the individual, and then you can click on, whatever their rank qualifier is. So, hey, show me, the information for this individual or this rank qualification. So that's probably the fastest way. If you want to go into more detail, you could leverage, it's going to take a little bit more, manipulation, but you could probably go into, for example, your enroller team report, or your orders detail report to again see some further detail on, specifically where that information is coming from.
Thank you, Emily. Before we close this session, I just want to share a few things. One, the recording of this will be shared in the weekly update under the compensation plan section, so you can revisit there. We did have 87 questions asked, and we obviously can't get to that many in 15 minutes, and they were moving very quickly. So if I missed your question, it will probably be answered in a future session. We will have 8 of these sessions. This is the first of those 8, so come back. We also will use some of these questions in our Business Builders Facebook group to address some questions, so you can always go there, and we will have some of these questions and answers there as well. So don't get discouraged if it wasn't answered. You will get your answers somewhere at some point. I want to thank everyone for joining, and we will see the next group this evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.